In this video, I will teach you to import data structured using a markup language into a Google Sheets spreadsheet using the IMPORTXML formula. And the IMPORTXML formula in this context will be used to create expat queries. So first, let's look at this website. It is the web page of the City of Ottawa's website dedicated to the mayor and city councilors. So you have a photo of each elected official. You have their name, position. When it's a councilor, you have the name of the ward. You have an email address, a phone number, and a fax number. And we can actually recreate or extract all of this information to create our own database. So there is one mayor and there are 23 councilors. So the first step is to understand the data we are dealing with. So I will use my trusty Google Inspector to inspect the page. I click here to go inspect, and let's look at the name here. So Mayor Watson's name is structured using an H3 level header. Let's see if it's the same with Matthew Luloff. Again, H3. Same with Laura Dudas. So we now know that H3 level headings are used to frame the name of each elected official. So the next step will be to copy the URL, go to this document that I have already created, import XML demo, come to cell A1, equal sign, import, and this time around we'll put XML, the URL, semicolon, and now there is a difference. You need to follow the XPath syntax. The important thing to know is that XPath isn't unique to Google Sheets. It is a language which you can use with PHP, JavaScript, with Python. So when using it within the Google Sheets ecosystem, you need to preface it with the import XML formula. But as far as it goes after that, you need to follow the XPath syntax. So there is a cheat sheet. And what do I want to import? Okay, so I have the expression and I want to select nodes in the document from the current node that match the selection no matter where they are. That's what I want to do. You don't need to remember that by heart. You can always refer back to the XPath syntax, but the method I'm going to teach you should work with most websites. So we need to put a double slash. So we'll do so. And then we'll put H3, and then we will close off our expression with English quotation marks. And now we have all 24 elected officials at City Hall in Ottawa. I'll double click here to widen my column. The next thing I would like to import would be the ward represented by each councillor. So we'll come back with the inspector. I'll click, well, the mayor doesn't have really a ward, so let's go see ward 1. Okay, it tells us here, and if you click, it will bring you to it, but then you cannot click on anything else. You need to click back to this option here, select an element. If you just hover, normally it will show you. So now we know that there is a div called ward. Same thing here, and so on. So let's try it. So I'll come back here. I will put equal import XML, the URL, English quotation marks again. Now I'm not importing an H3 level header. I am importing a div. So I'll put div instead of H3, and I'm not importing just any div. No, I am importing a div So now I will put, again, following the syntax. You can find out how to do it when you come around here. Okay, so you want to select all of the title elements that have a lang attribute with a value of en. In our case, we want to select elements, so divs, which have a div or a class, attribute of ward. So that's the syntax we will follow. So we'll come here and we'll put at class equal sign ward between single quotation marks. We will close our square bracket. We will close our expression using English quotation marks, and I will close off the entire formula. I'll let you see it. And then enter. Now I have all of the wards. There is a problem though. Because I put the formula here in A1, Jim Watson is the first value I imported. The problem now is that we know that Jim Watson doesn't represent a ward. He is the mayor. So all I have to do is take this formula, so cut it, Control X, and I will paste it, Control V, into cell B2. And now it lines up. I could actually put everything at the same font size. There we go. Orleans was a bit too big. Double click between the two columns here. And I now have a basic data set. The next step would be to import, say, a phone number. So if I come here, I have a div called phone item. Same thing here, phone item, phone item. So I'll do the same. And the quick and easy way to do it would be to copy and paste the actual formula here. Come paste it, and the mayor has a phone number, so we'll come back to C1. I will paste it by double clicking so that I can modify it. And here my div is actually phone-item. So we'll do that. And now I have phone numbers and fax numbers. Oh, that's interesting. So although the information or the data is structured using, tel and fax, the actual HTML elements are in a div with a class named phone item, whether it's the actual phone number or fax number. How could we resolve that? Well, it's still faster to then, just erase all of those numbers and to kind of like reorganize them. So that would be one way of doing it. But clearly here we just saw a limitation of using this XPath expression system to import data, because the data overall appears to be well structured. But there is a caveat, right? Here they are using, whomever designed the website, used a div with a class named phone item to embed or structure phone numbers and fax numbers. So we would need to find a way to clean up the data set. But overall, you get the gist. I invite you to experiment using XPath expressions to fetch data from different websites.